Good evening, I'm Lydia Lunch. Women and children first. Women and children first. Women and children are the first casualties of war. And the war is never over. The war is never ending. The war is just an orgy of blood and guts, masterminded by those testosterone-fueled, dirty old men who get off on butt-fucking the entire planet. Now, did you ever notice when you turn on your TV for your daily update on the Middle East that you never see the women or children? They never show the women or the children starving to death and living on dry grass and sand. They never show the widows and orphans walking in single file to a border, any border. All you ever see are hundreds and hundreds of young men dressed in the images of their gods, all waving fucking Uzis. Did you ever notice that a woman has never started a world war? Or that a woman has never stopped one either? Is that because, ladies, we still don't have enough fucking ammunition? You know, maybe we needed to arm the women of Afghanistan. Gun drops alongside the rice and Pop-Tarts. Oh, closer, my God, to thee. Closer, my God, to thee. Holy war, bull fucking shit. Every war is a holy war. Every war is about one of three things: God, land, or oil. Now, maybe it's about time that we got rid of God. Because God was the first cop. God was the first cock. God was the first big dick, low life, no good motherfucker that condemned this world to war in the first place. And man, playing God, will do what God has done. He will destroy, he will terrorize, he will penalize, he will punish, and eventually he will just eliminate the entire fucking earth. Now maybe, if we outlawed God and got back to the goddess. Now, do any of you know what the goddess said? Do any of you know what Durga said? Durga said, cut off your own fucking head. Durga said, cut off your own fucking head. You want to go on a suicide mission? You want to go on a suicide mission? Fine, buy a one-way ticket for one fucking person and leave the women out of it, leave the children out of it, and leave the innocent male civilians out of it. Oh, they call themselves freedom fighters, but they're not fighting for the freedom of their women or children. Oh yeah, and in this country, you know, we're all freedom and liberty for all. We're the good fight. Might makes right. Good cop versus evil doers. You want evil? You want some motherfucking evil. You don't have to look too far. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Ain't too fucking far from here. A war on terrorism. War on terrorism. We're the biggest fucking terrorists on this planet. We're the bullies of the world. We cop everyone out. We're always sticking our nose in everybody else's fucking business, but only if we've got something to gain from it. That's why we let Milosevic get away with it for over a fucking decade while he killed hundreds and thousands of innocent women and children and men. And we have the fucking nerve to force feed the rest of the world the hypocrisy of democracy, preaching human rights. There's no fucking human rights in this country. Human rights, what, for the 250,000 homeless people? Human rights, freedom and liberty for all, not for the 2 million people incarcerated. You know, since I've been talking about prison for about a decade now, the prison population has doubled. And 70% of the people in prison, petty drug charges. Freedom for everyone if you can fucking afford it. They must assume that we're all fucking on drugs. They must assume that we are all so stoned that we're going to turn a blind eye to the fact that the fucking presidential election was a complete hoax. Oh, democracy, not here. And now we're forced to suffer the sins of the father, that fucker, who used the CIA to seduce, arm, and train terrorists like Noriega and Saddam Hussein and Idi Amin and Bin fucking Laden, sucking up to them as long as they do our dirty work, turning the poppy fields and the oil fields into the killing fields. And Bush is so fucking dumb that he gave the Taliban $43 million 11 months ago as if paying off the pusher ever got rid of the drug problem.
What would you rather they do?
Well, I'll tell you. And speaking of the drug war, what the fuck is the drug war? It's another hoax and farce perpetrated behind your back to steal more of your freedom and liberty. I mean, it's okay for Bush's daughter to get drunk and his junkie niece to go around trying to hold up fucking drugstores, but you can't get stoned. Freedom and liberty, but not for you. You know, the billions of dollars that they've wasted on the fucking drug wars could ensure that we were all as high as kingdom come forever. And the real terrorists are the cops among us. The FBI, the CIA, the DEA, the WTO, who are waging real wars every fucking day against you. Wars against freedom, liberty, and justice, and your privacy. Because if you didn't realize it, excuse me, I'm talking. This is not a fucking debate, it's a monologue. You want to get up here? You wait till I'm done. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you, child. Because you're male, if you're a loudmouth like me, it's probably being x-rayed. And I don't know about you, but I think my phone is tapped. And the internet, I don't care where you're signing on or who, is being fucking surveyed. I mean, there's surveillance cameras in every school, supermarket, liquor store, bodega, burger joint, bank, and coming soon to every street corner and dashboard near you. Now, I know that they probably have my date of birth, expected date of death, driver's license if I had one, passport, social security number, and bank accounts, and it's all hooked up to a central data bank. There's spy cameras in outer space. They've got my DNA on file thanks to my fucking dentist. And they probably have all my medical records thanks to those crooks in the AMA. Freedom and liberty for all, but not health insurance because you can't fucking afford it. So don't call me paranoid, because I've been talking about this bullshit since when you were a wet dream in your daddy's drawers. And my worst premonitions have all come to fruition. And don't think, little man, that I'm anti-male. Because I'm not anti-male, I'm anti-men in positions of power, I'm anti-the patriarchy, because they've been fucking this whole fucking planet for thousands of years now. And not all men are pigs, just the ones I'm attracted to. Not all men are pigs. But all politicians are. Money-grubbing, greedy, fuckwads that never gave a shit about any of us in the first place, who lied, cheated, and bullied their way up to the positions of power that they've achieved, while the real evildoers, the corporations, who we all now know by name, Exxon, Enron, Shell, DuPont, General Electric, Lockheed, Hughes, Martin, backslapping their butt buddies on the way up to the top of the corporate ladder. You know, we can only dangle the carrot of Western corruption for so long in the rest of the world's face, and the rest of the world can't afford it, doesn't want anything to fucking do with it. So when we finally reap what we fucking sow, it's no surprise to me. Because in the end, it's only we, the people, who are gonna suffer. We, the people, who will be screwed. The innocent will always suffer. The guilty will always be set free. Bliss has always been ignorance. Ignorance has always been bliss. War is peace, and peace is not fucking profitable. Thank your president for that. Quiet down, because I don't want to have to eject you to the back where I can't see your fucking mug mouthing silliness. You paid, don't make me force you to pay to get out, because you will pay strong, little man. And I'm not in the fucking mood to be sassy tonight, so I'll try. Because I could kill you with one blow. I mean it. And if you'd like to challenge me, I'm small, but I'm strong. Have you had enough personal attention, asshole? Then stop. Thank you. Oh yeah. Why don't we just take it back to the beginning? Because it's the same as it ever was. It's the same as it ever was. The book of Revelations, the books of blood, the blood of dreams. Blood is just memory without language. I'm bleeding now and my song is the scream. And this has all been forced up from the world of whispers, where terror and negation are out on an endless prowl. And I'm just attempting to summon the memory of pre-epidemic existence. You see, I'm always nursing bruised ideals which combat human shortcomings. And I understand that we're all transitional creatures. We love to destroy ourselves in slow motion and in our terror and in our ignorance. We do the very things which aggravate the calamity and increase the death rate. And each fate is a refrain fluttering around a few bloodstains, and nothing can keep you from bleeding. Nothing can keep you from bleeding. Ideas themselves turn red and encroach upon us in some kind of philosophical stupor. And the interval separating you from your corpse is a small, sticky wound. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Are we all suffering from some kind of collective-induced fiction? Have we all had our memories ambushed? Are we all merely the unwitting victims of a historical lobotomy, or maybe we're all just stuck wallowing in Orwell's memory hole? Haven't we learned anything from the past? And I know the past is just nostalgia. Why do you have to talk about the past? Well, history draws its substance from the archives of blood. We're all just grave diggers to the future. Each generation raises monuments to the executioners which have preceded it. I mean, fuck, even Hitler's got his own channel, the History Channel. Society is not a disease. It's a fucking disaster. And what we call truth is an error not sufficiently recognized. Get to the fucking back. You're annoying the hell out of me. I don't care if you talk, but not up here. Go. Right now. Go. Get to the back. Get to the fucking back.
Go.
Get to the fucking back. If you don't move, you're just going to get ejected.
Okay.
You going to shut up or are you going to move to the back? You don't have to stay here. You can get your money back and get off my fucking tits, dick. You might learn something and that might blow your cool. Come back when you have another haircut, lifestyle, intellect, IQ, train of thought. I can still hear you. Leave the building. Goodbye, asshole. See you next life. Gag it. Ball and gag. Always handy when there's men around. Not all of you. Not all of you. Some of you, the riding crop will simply suffice. Some of you just like a good punch in the fucking nose every now and then. That's easy. No equipment needed. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Yeah, was that the right one?
I don't fucking know. They all look the same to me. I appreciate enthusiasm, but tittering gets on my fucking tits. Thank you.
Shall we proceed?
Thank you.
Yes.
History, so much nicer now. How one asshole, women, you know this, can ruin your whole fucking life. Or night. And what is a night? What is life but the endless night, an endless second stretched forever? History has been reduced to thousands and thousands of snapshots rifled through the air like a broken film strip ripped through an ancient projector. And I don't know about you, but my mind, it works in multiples. And it seems as if I'm always tripping over images which beg for deliverance, which beg for recognition from the place that time smolders. It seems as if I'm always suffering from blind spots, blackouts, vertigo, limbo, flashbacks of all the great disasters, as if they're frozen moments in time which just unfold, and I can't help but tripping out over the Spanish Inquisition and 400 years of the Crusades and Joan of Arc, the fall of the Bastille, the Black Plague, Pompeii, Babylon, Bhopal, Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, World War I, World War II, World War III, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, Bosnia, Herzegovina, the World Trade Center, the Gaza Strip, and these to me just replay over and over and over again. All man-made disasters which have impregnated my psychic fabric. And we haven't learned anything from the past. We haven't learned anything from the fucking past. I mean, time is just a resurrection of emotion. And my memory is always running backward toward that vault of eternity, that original red pyramid of death, where catastrophes just keep billowing on forever and ever towards the edge of the earth. And I know that this world, just the stopover point before heaven or hell or another endless limbo. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Of course, we could all start praying to Bin Laden, and paradise and the promise of an endless supply of young virgin pussy can all be ours for a one-way ticket and at the expense of a few thousand wasted innocent lives. But I get Bin Laden. I understand that the only minds which seduce are those which have destroyed themselves trying to give their life some kind of meaning. And after all, there is no one more fucking logical than the lunatic. I mean, madmen are the greatest reasoners of all. They're always trying to make sense out of the demonic rage which litters the demented playpen of their obese and obscene fantasies. And I know all about Bin Laden. I can completely understand where he's coming from, because I too, as you must feel, that sometimes life is just a fucking thief. Man, I'm waiting for paradise. I've been waiting my whole fucking life. Life will steal everything. Creation. Go back to the Big Bang. Same as it ever was. What was the fucking Big Bang but a war on atoms? Endless chaos. Creation is but a nightmare spectacle. We're all just a trembling accident germinating on this hothouse planet which has been soaked for hundreds and thousands of years with the blood of all of its creatures. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. But if we want to go back to the beginning, you see, in the beginning, before they had invented God, in the beginning, there was simply woman. Now some say the devil is a woman. If there's a devil, I pray she's a woman. Maybe a monster or maybe my double. But in the beginning, there was simply woman. And everything will come full circle. The serpent will eat its tail. What nature does not perfect, we complete with artifice. Now, I know some of you women can remember the sacred origins, when we all, as women, lived in covens. We were all pagans, all of us hedonists. We'd have a wild bacchanalia. We'd dance naked under the moonlight. We'd have orgies and wild blood rituals. In the beginning, there was simply woman. Now women invented poetry, language, song, dance, agriculture, and mining, which was co-opted once men figured out they could make fucking weapons out of it, and that's when we lost the fucking world. But in the beginning, there was simply women. And women have always been feared for their magic, for their power, for their sexuality, for their religion. They co-opted our religion and perverted it into Christianity. But in the beginning, little boy, came your fucking mother.
I don't think so. What is dad but a sperm cell? We're gonna get to that. Father, you're dumb. Dad came first. Oh, usually, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, men do usually come first. Not at my house. They don't come at all. Not allowed.
Safe sex? Keep it in your pants. Right here, baby.
Praise the goddess.
As I enter my 43rd year, I have much to mourn here. The death of my murdered son, murdered sons. Murdered by each other, murdered by society, murdered by the embodiment of the living lie passed down from generation to generation, murdered first by their fathers and mothers who through neglect and negation, abuse and battery bruised the abandoned babies' psyches into wishing they were never born at all. Didn't ask to be born, didn't want to be born, pretending they were born to be battered because they can take it as well as they can dish it out. They can fucking take it like a man murdered in self-sacrifice. Poor men. Weaned on sports and backyard war games, forced to act like a man, not be a sissy, be tough, don't cry, stand up for yourself, bury your emotions, pretend they don't exist, pretend they don't exist, pretend you don't exist. It's no wonder to me that it's always men who grow up to be rapists and serial killers and politicians and pedophiles and schoolyard snipers whose sense of self was castrated probably for the first time on the football field when they were brought down to one knee by backyard bullies who stole their lunch money, hated their haircut, couldn't stand their music, called them a faggot, questioned their existence, because if you're not nowadays defined by a brand name or a corporate logo like the Nike swastika or Gap or FUBU, then who the fuck are you? And what the fuck is your purpose? And when the fuck did looking so damn suburban and like a goddamn frat boy become a sign of cool anyway? You know when they turn their baseball caps around, ladies? It's because you're supposed to aim right between that little hole. You know, it used to mean something when I was a teenager to be a fucking freak, to stand out, to take a stand, to have a purpose, to have some meaning, to be an individual, to not fit in. And now all it means is that you're a bigger target for Gestapo conformist, as the conspiracy of mediocrity, compounded by the media, reduces everyone and everything to how much net worth they'll have in the future. And the future is here, and the future is now, and there is no fucking future, but if there was one, it would be filled with the groundswell of technology, which opens the borders to the rest of the world. But as the web gets larger, the net closes in. And I can't help but fear it's just another conspiratorial confine meant to murder the individual, to keep the troublemakers off the streets and out of protests and away from throwing bricks through fucking windows of banks, to keep them locked safely in their cubicles and bedrooms, ruminating in endless chat rooms where real conversations with real people don't fucking exist, where real emotion gets further stunted and the death of the individual is everything to do with technology and the internet, where you can pretend everything and be nothing. Spun off into the cyber void, playing video games, which train your motor functions, at least they serve a purpose. Oh, they train your motor functions to pull the fucking trigger, to pull the trigger, to pull the motherfucking trigger, and that's what it taught them in West Paducah, Kentucky, and Littleton, Colorado, and Springfield, Oregon, and Jonesboro, Arkansas, and Moses Lake, Washington, and Columbine. Sacrificial, lost little lambs, suicided by society, white boys acting black, black boys acting blacker. They're only killing themselves. They're only killing themselves when they murder their baby brothers. And their graveyard markers are the red, white, and blue poppies which bloom, fed on by the busted bones of little baby boys who never having succeeded in reaching manhood, melt into each other like black and blue angels as the men in blue pull up in their black and whites and in a hail of bullets and blood snuff the unlived life out of another innocent, unarmed baby boy because the price we hang on human life is death. The price we hang on human life is death. And another son, suicided by self. Teenage, transvestite, truck stop, prostitute, he, she, hooker with a heart of gold, battered and broken, his sex was a battlefield, holes in his hands, a lock of mommy's hair, because mommy's down at the local bar looking for daddy or daddy's replacement so that they can come home and batter into submission and castration all the little boys that didn't want to grow up to be monsters or madmen, but were just carrying on in the family tradition, and the enemy is ever present, and your parents will never fucking save you, and you are always in danger. You're always in danger, and sometimes for young boys it must seem as if the only retaliation is to aim the gun in the mirror at the mirror in front of them and pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the motherfucking trigger. And the reincarnation of my murdered son is remade in the image of the angel's battered face which stands before me now. Blue-eyed, blonde hair, Hungarian gypsy farm boy sent down from heaven in a blood seance, a blood sacrifice, a blood ritual. Oh, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, the ultimate masterpiece, a roadmap of scars. Crossing latitude and longing. Oh, he's longing to feel something, longing to feel anything, longing to feel alive. So in order to even the odds, he picks up the knife and slashes his chest, his wrist, his face, his legs. Death defied by 1,000 cuts, death defied by 1,000 cuts. A roadmap of scars, a grid demarcation, defamating skin. Bruises bloom over the buried trauma's treasures. Brutally tattered, my baby's been battered, my baby's been battered because ladies, young boys, self-mutilate too. Because mommy couldn't save them. And I'm not their fucking mommies, and I can't save them. But they can melt into me, they can melt into my mantra as mommy, as mother, and I mourn. Oh yeah, I mourn. I stamp and cry, collapse in fists, punch head with fist, tear at my womb, ungodly to my murdered son, the one who bears eternal wounds. Have some water up here, please. Someone. Speaking of motherhood, he's 19 months old, pushing a fire engine red go-kart across the driveway. Perfectly formed almond eyes bespeak the mystery and intrigue his limited vocabulary will never mouth. Our eyes lock upon each other. Instant hypnosis. His motor functions freeze. He drops his toy and barrels at me as fast as his little feet will fly. He grips my thighs and attempts to crawl up my body, and with a little boost, my two hands cradle him under his arms, raise him to my face, and kiss his nose. He wraps his pudgy little baby legs around my hips, pets my hair, burrows his head in my neck, and coos. All is motherly bliss. Until he shits his diaper. And the smell rises, and my clothes reek, and his real mommy is headed our way. She wants him back, thank God. She can have him, at least until he's 12 years old. Now, I love children, And they love me. And believe me, years of plane, train, and bus travel have helped me to master the secret of forging an unspoken allegiance with babies of all ages on interminable 10-hour transatlantic journeys for the sake of not only myself, but for the rest of my fellow travelers. If I hear a child crying, I will immediately seek out the source of the yowling little nipper and take matters into my own hands. And I can assure you, peace will instantly be restored. The once ferocious battle cry, whose very resonance threatened to break the sound barrier, is instantaneously replaced with a soft chuckling, a tender purr, a benign smile. Baby love. Now, it could be the color of my hair, the pheromones I excrete, or the look of pity, empathy, and total understanding that emanates from my very own baby blues, but infants, not to mention dogs and men alike, have an uncanny urge to please Big Mama, and usually do so by dropping down to all fours, crawling around at my feet, quickly quieting down and burying their runny little snouts between my legs or under my arms or at my breasts. And this is often accompanied by a soul-shuddering sigh, so completely neutralizing that it borders on a mild neurological orgasm. Now, of course, I need a lithium douche to feel half human again after my own chemical makeup has been momentarily skewered by the lingering afterglow of baby drool sponged up and off of my collar. Now, isn't that cute? My maternal instincts kick in to spite me. You see, I hate to hear babies cry. As a matter of fact, I hate to hear anyone fucking cry because it's the most obnoxious form of noise pollution I can imagine. And if all it takes to temporarily abate the skin-crawling caterwaul is one fell swoop and a snatch which lifts the little banterweight crying time bomb into my arms and gives it a tight little squeeze, I'm gonna fucking do it. I mean, after all, mother knows best. Which both amazes and horrifies the real birth mother, who simultaneously enjoys the respite, yet whose first instinct is to grab the little critter and flee as far away as humanly possible from this obviously over-sexualized baby freak, rescuing her precious little angel from unforeseen and imaginary evil until she realizes she has to fear an even more percussive backlash, a rendition of the terror of Tiny Town's latest lung-busting operata. And Mama usually gives in, and Baby usually wins out, and I'm stuck playing bouncy fucking wouncy with the 20-pound flesh ball for the next 8 hours all the way to London. It's not a problem. I understand, children. It's their mothers I can't fucking stand. Every first-time mother believes that her little cherub is the most awe-inspiring little angel to ever be shat forth upon this ungodly planet. And the endlessly exaggerated delight, sing-sung and baby talk over the little darling's first coo, goo, drool, burp, barf, and poop becomes a tireless tirade whose glorification of the most foul bodily functions insults not only my intelligence, but the patience of every ear within a 10-mile Toys R Us radius. And ladies, you've had the calls, you know. It's a non-stop daily update. It tumbles forth in fits and starts from the lips of the first-time mother's mundanity-strewn mouth, as if nothing else in the world matters. Politics be damned. Natural disasters don't measure up. Culture falls away. Art is dead, all in comparison to the size, smell, and consistency of their little shitter's latest bowel movements, which seem to be earth-shattering news in and of itself. And not merely the sandwich meat of seagull roughage down at your local landfill where disposable diapers by the tens of millions, which I believe have a half-life of about 10,000 fucking years, in a flagrant disregard to future generations, will forever swelter and billow in noxious sky blue pink clouds, further contaminating an already toxic landscape whose single most environmentally hazardous threat to the planet is the 6 billion other fucking babies. Babies who live to eat, shit, piss, consume, and make enough waste to result in a non-biodegradable garbage barge piled sky-high from here to the fucking moon and back. And I thought the smell of one little poopy trooper was befouling to behold. Well, hold your breath and smile, because the average kindergartner has already soiled 2,495 fucking Pampers before he even hits first grade. And then the real fun kicks in. Bedwetting. But at least bed sheets are recyclable. Now, I shut up my biological time clock before it even punched itself in. I mean, the mortifying thought of actually having an alien life form develop inside my own body is terrifying. I can barely stand to live inside this. Now, call me inhuman, but childbirth gives me the fucking creeps. It seems the single most unnatural act that a woman can ever consciously perpetrate against herself. As if the ritual abuse of sex isn't grotesque enough. A 9-month-long gestation period follows, which begins after a single sperm cell worms its slimy way in and infects a fertile egg, resulting in that glorious wonder that is morning sickness, vomiting, insatiable craving for junk food, sore back, ballooning breasts, weight gain, and funny-looking clothes which don't fucking fit. Now, this honeymoon from hell is capped off with the eventual expulsion of a 9-pound sack of blood and mucus with the vocal range of a shrieking demon who will, for the next 3 years, be forever demanding titty, diaper changing, constant attention. Now, I can't even pay that much attention to my fucking self. It would make me sick. In 3 days, I would go postal, become homicidal, kill the baby, kill myself, and kill everyone else that I could. And let's not, and I've had the phone call, even begin to discuss the possibility of a 36-hour-long delivery. Where shitting out a watermelon would seem like a cakewalk in the park by comparison. But my theory is, it doesn't fit in, it doesn't come out. I still haven't been able to get my whole fucking fist up there. I'm sorry. I just... Try as I may, just call me tiny. And until you've seen, and I have, because my favorite show is Operation on TLC, and I have seen the live broadcast of a cesarean section. Until you have, you will have no idea how medieval modern medicine really is. Let me explain. After the evil smiley face incision is carved in your lower abdomen, the mad doctor removes your uterus, as in lifting it out of your body, brushing aside the blood and guts with a betadine hose down, painting an even more gory picture of the real meaning of the Hippocratic Oath, as he forces the little devil out of its morbid hiding place, and then happily restitches the permanent damage already done as casually as darning an old sock with a size 10 knitting needle inside the epicenter of your most sensitive nerve center. Fucking heinous. Horrible. It's absolutely barbaric, and you can count me out. Now, in spite of this, women still breed. And almost all the women I know at my age already have a baby, or 2 babies, or worse yet, still want a baby. Do you think I'm too fucking old? No, you're too fucking dumb. And if I have to withstand another 2-hour-long conversation about someone who is just looking for someone to pour all that unconditional love into, I just want someone I can give everything to that I never had, someone to love me, someone to take care of me in old age, I'm gonna fucking lose it. If you want something to fill that empty space inside, not a fucking baby. And if you want someone to take care of you in old age, you better start saving your pennies now for a wet nurse, because children always think their parents are fucking dorks. Especially when they're trying to be cool. And what is so fucking alternative with all these alt-rockers having fucking kids? What are they thinking? When I want to create something, it's not a little Lydia that I then have to fend off to a fucking babysitter or a nanny who has to carry on in my legacy. I want to create something that's going to be a book, a record, a screenplay, a photograph, or a fucking chocolate cake. And you know, I can't wait to hear what little Frances Bean is going to be saying about Mommy Dearest. Oh, Kim Gordon's kid isn't going to be fucking deaf? Chrissy Hines isn't gonna grow up to be an alcoholic or a junkie. Then we got that fucking sperm donor, Madonna, shitting him out. And Michael Jackson, that's the end. You want true revolution? Michael Jackson has a fucking baby, you don't. I am, however, willing to auction my eggs on eBay to the highest bidder. I just pity the fool that bets on them. You know, at this point, procreation is sheer vanity. First of all, there are more than enough children to go around. Why not consider adopting? I'm available. My parents are fucking dead. I need someone to take care of me. I act like a baby all the time. I'm having a fucking tantrum now. I'll shit my pants if you want me to, but you'll have to clean it up. There's the toilet paper dispenser. 77 million babies were born last year alone. The mind can't even fathom that. In the last 12 years, we've added another billion people to this already overpopulated planet as natural resources are being exasperated to the point of no return. The population in my lifetime has fucking doubled. By 2050, which is still your lifetime, 9 billion people roaming the earth like an army of living ghosts looking for food, water, shelter. A third of this country already lives in abject poverty or makes minimum fucking wage, which is even worse than living in poverty. And if you want a kid, you better have $130,000 in the bank, and that ain't including college fucking tuition. I don't know about you, I can't fucking afford it. And besides, the real truth of the matter is, all the men I know are still fucking babies. They all demand to be coddled, handled with kid gloves, spoon-fed, sent to obedience school, and on the odd occasion, they even demand to be spanked in the way that only a real mother would know how. And these services, I am more than happy to oblige. I mean, at most, it's a part-time fucking job, right? Not a lifelong commitment. Or as the New York subway system used to so astutely say in an ad campaign against teenage pregnancy, it's like being grounded for 18 years. And at least I know that none of the men I date will grow up to one day hate my goddamn guts, because try as I may, I just couldn't supply the parasitic little need machines with every little thing their greedy little hearts desired, or that I force them to withstand a lifestyle, especially as an artist, which by its very nature is selfish, self-centered, all-consuming, narcissistic, and nomadic. A fucking papoose on my back, I just don't see it happening. Now, men may be occasionally babies, but unlike the little brats they with every passing year grow more and more to resemble, men thrive on neglect. They love abuse, abandonment. They may cry and stamp their feet and demand some mommy's milk, but they won't starve to death if they don't fucking get it. So ladies, please, one word of advice. Next time the urge to procreate strikes, grab the nearest male, put his hairy, pimply ass in an adult-sized Depends diaper, take him in your arms, hold him to your left tit, feed him milk if you have any, 30 minutes every 3 hours for the next 3 fucking years, and then come back and tell me you still want to find out all about the joys of motherhood.
Thanks for coming out.
For those of you who haven't been there, lydialunch.org, sexandgutsmagazine.com, which is a magazine I'm co-editing with Jean Greco. It's have a few copies to sell at the merch table. I've just released a new EP with the Nubian Lights, which I have very few copies, so first come, first served. Maybe I won't charge you double. And that's it.
Would I resort to the kind of thing that the Palestinians have resorted to after, or during the history of African Americans in this country in slavery? Would you resort to this kind of thing in order to free your people? Yes, I think that I would. However, the Israeli Palestinian situation is one in which I think Israel at this point has gotten so far beyond any opportunity for peace with the kind of leadership it has.